What's up, guys? Mark Bursteiner here. Thanks for tuning in. This is the second of its kind What's on My Phone, What's on My Pixel live. We're doing this one live streaming right now on the channel, so if you're not participating, I would love you to participate. I want to be able to do these things sort of like with a studio audience, so to speak, so we've actually got the live chat going right here, which I'm going to take a look at shortly. And I actually tried doing this once already and accidentally forgot to capture my audio. So we're doing it live. It's part of the nature of it. The other thing I want to let you know really quick before we get into it is there's a Patreon up now, which I'm stoked on. I put a lot of work into it. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about the tiers, about the money, about the rewards. If there's anything at all that you think, please let me know down below in the comments. And if you would consider becoming a patron, it would mean so much to me. I'm doing at least one video a week now, and for the rest of the year and for the foreseeable future. And it would make a really big difference to have sustainable income, as I'm sure you're aware. It helps a lot with things like eating. Starting with the front page, not a lot has changed here. You can see I've gone back to using covers for these folders, and that's because I finally took the time to create folders in Nova Launcher. If you open up the drawer, this is the first thing you're going to see. The biggest different thing you're going to see is there's nothing in here, at least there shouldn't be anything in here that is accessible from the home screen. I don't like having anything in the drawer that doesn't need to be there. And all of these things that are on my home screen should not be present in the drawer. And that means just about anything that I have access to. So if I can reach Flamingo, I don't need the Flamingo icon anywhere else because the widget does the job. You can see I've got games, media, and utilities. And all you need to do here, and this is one of the great things about Nova Launcher, is you can just go in, select the apps that you want to be in that folder, and then they just show up in that folder. No dragging, no muss, no fuss. It feels really, really good. You can keep them in the main app tab too if you want to, but that's what I keep turned off because I don't want any of that clutter. Now, you know I'm big on mobile games, so I've got a bunch of games. A lot of these games you've seen covered here on the channel, so go check those out. Mobile games, I've covered Deus Ex, I've covered Reigns on an episode of All About Android, I've covered, what else have I covered? Bad Banker, Bit Blocks. A lot of these have been covered on this channel, so definitely do go check those out. You've got media. This is just basically everything watchable. If you can watch it, if it's streamable, Twitch, YouTube Gaming, regular old YouTube Popcorn Time, whatever it is, Plex. I've got a Plex server set up so that I can access it from anywhere. If it's watchable, it's considered media as far as I'm concerned. Under utilities, first thing I've got is LiFX, which we can go ahead and turn on that fan and turn on that desk lamp, because what a shame that it wasn't. And then below, you've got all the rest of the utilities. For example, right now I'm using AZ Screen Recorder to record my screen on my phone for the video, the produced video, not the live stream. And then I've got a couple of other utilities that I use fairly frequently, things like Park Chicago. I've got 8 for my smart bed cover that heats my bed and tells me how poorly I sleep on a nightly basis. Last night was a 69 though. Okay. This folder's changed a bit. Slide is my primary Reddit client. And even though I have shortcut access to it here, that's shortcut access to the front page, which isn't ideal for me because when you swipe away, it doesn't go to the home screen. Opening up Slide right here does. Very much like that. And then inside this folder, I've got all the things that I use on a daily basis. This is my daily folder using Snapchat, Friendly for Facebook because I won't install the Facebook app, Instagram, Genius for lyrics, Ishtar Commander for Destiny, Datadex for Pokemon, and Talkspace for therapy. My primary icon pack that I have set up is Nucleo because I think that a lot of the new icons are horrendous. They're really, really bad. The rounded ones really suck. And I really prefer to have material. I start with Nucleo as the baseline, the default, and then I use other ones as needed. I've also got Polycon, CandyCons installed, and I pull from those for ones that I don't think have a good fit in other ones. I wish there were a better one for GoodRx. GoodRx is one of the ones that really, really bothers me, but I can't seem to find a good one. This page has not changed at all. Weather timeline up at the top, Pocket Cast for my podcasts, which, by the way, there's going to be a Patreon exclusive podcast for, it's just a baseline tier, $1 per episode on YouTube gets you access to the base tier. Any patron will get access to the patron podcast, but I also made an RSS feed link so that if you don't want to listen to the Patreon app, you can listen to it through Pocket Cast or whatever your favorite podcast app is. I realize I'm talking fast. It's because I'm trying to pack a lot of content into as short a video as possible. So, I mean, if you're going to complain about it, but I don't really care all that much. I've shown Flamingo off before. It's just really, it's it's still one of the best apps. It's just still one of the best Twitter apps. It's made by Sam Rustin, who also makes Weather Timeline. I'm just really blown away by his work. He's a great developer, really, really responsive, lots of updates, really frequently, really listens to the users. Really like it a lot. You can see this is still relatively the same. My LiFX widget has a few of my most frequently used scenes that I can set up for in here. So for example, you can hit work and it'll change the lights up in here and over there. Very nice, right up on my home screen. And I'm also working on a few extra Internet of Things, home widgets, smart things stuff for the top of this screen here. Google Keep down below. This is the newest page. I finally got Habitica set up in some capacity. I would love to be invited to a good Habitica guild. I've been using Habitica to try and increase productivity, increase habits. I've meditated, I think, every day for, I think, at least 12 days now, something like that. Not necessarily due to Habitica, but I'm really working hard on making sure my habits stay formed. I've got a data tracker here for Project Fi because Project Fi does not have unlimited data. And then these widgets right here, I think this is one of the really cool things about Habitica, which I'm still planning on doing a video on once it's all set up, is you can set these habits here, positive habits or negative habits that you want to break or build. So here we've got eat healthy food or eat junk food. This morning for breakfast I had Soylent, so I'm going to say I ate some healthy food. Get me some experience, etc. The last major thing that I really want to add and point out here that I've really been having a blast with is Pomo To Do. I love the Pomodoro method. If you've never seen the Pomodoro method, it's really, really simple. You break down your tasks into 20 to 25 minute chunks. If you ever get interrupted, you've got to start over. And I did some coverage on an app called Clear Focus, which was really good, but Pomo To Do has an entire backend set up for syncing, which I really like a lot, so you can access it from your computer as well. And the way this works is you can see your data. It'll let you know if like what your productivity looked like. I'm just about to start using this. It's not set up on here. I have it set up on my computer already as well, but I haven't signed in here. So that's going to be the last widget that I've got here. And if you've never looked into the Pomodoro method, I encourage you to do so, especially if you're someone like me, you work at home, you work on your own, you don't really have a coworker. It really, really helps a lot with productivity and keeping yourself accountable. It's really, really nice. Okay, with that, I'm going to start taking some questions from the live chat. Let's see what the chat is interested in. Fainter Kitten asks, can you give me a Google Pixel, please? No. No, I don't find that widgets impact my battery too much. I think way back in the day of old school Android, Eclair, or things like that, widgets definitely did kill the battery a lot more quickly. Gorav, I believe is how I say your name. I have not rooted my Pixel. I haven't really found a good reason to. The Pixel is really stable. It's a great device. The battery life is fantastic. And I haven't really found a need for rooting. I just don't use Facebook. I don't use that stuff. However, I do find that I do miss Greenify, and I do find myself wondering how much better the battery life would be if I were rooted. But when it comes to rooting, the next thing we're going to be doing is rooting this Nextbit Robin and installing Lineage OS on it, I believe is what we're going to be installing. Do you use the long press force touch feature much? No, I don't. I don't at all. I think I would if it were if it were an actual force touch, but because it's not an actual force touch, I don't find myself tapping and holding very frequently, except to edit the folder. So for things like maps, like I hardly ever think to do that as much as I really like the notion of it. So no, I don't really use it all that much. Carl also asks about the gestures that I have set up. So 2 fingers up also takes you to Google Now, but 2 fingers down takes me to Google Play. And I really, really like that. I've been using Slide Over Sync because of the widget. That's my main reason for using Slide Over Sync. But I also did post about this in their subreddit. There's a bug with the widget that only shows black text, and that's a freaking nightmare. But Slide does a great job of letting you customize all of your subreddits. So they each can have their own specific color. So I've got Destiny is gray, Android is Android green, Magic is red, like my default. So when I'm looking at the front page, it's really nice to be able to scroll down and see, for example, right here, videos is red. I have certain ones called out here so that when, like, let's see if we can hit some Android news here. When we hit something like Android news, it'll be called out in green, but it's been a kind of a slow news week in terms of Android though. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm going to do a backup right here of my Nova settings, and you should be able to find them right here down below underneath the video in the description if you want to start from here in terms of what you've got on your phone. So let me know what you guys do have on your phone down below in the comments. Tweet me at MarkB, Snapchat, all that fun stuff. Please do be paying attention to that stuff because I do tweet and snap as I'm going live or if a schedule changes or whatever the case may be. Subscribe here if you want to see more videos like this one. That's what's on my phone. That's what's on my Pixel. And subscribe is also going to let you know when we're going live and things of that nature. We cover a bunch of video game stuff here. Lots of video game live streams. And of course, like I said at the top of the video, please do me a favor, consider checking out the Patreon, consider contributing to the Patreon. It really helps with being able to feed myself. So you get the picture. Thank you guys all again so much for watching, and as always, be kind to one another, and I'll catch you in the next video.